Hello, OTDM Speaks. If you are new here, subscribe, please. Like everything, share everything, and comment on everything. I did a video about Hunter Biden about a week or two ago. And the reason I did the video is because he demanded that he have either a House hearing or a Senate hearing. Either way, a congressional hearing on him and on the investigation into him and Joe Biden, his father. I then went and posted all my previous videos about Hunter Biden, which was 10. There were more, but I did 10 that were specifically about Hunter Biden, not necessarily Ukraine. And then every day, I dropped a Hunter Biden video. Go back and watch those, because it's fascinating how far ahead I was talking about him. All the videos are at least a year old. Some are a little bit, some are 2022. Anyway, the hearings begun this week, and Hunter Biden refused to show up. It was his idea. The Congress, again, I don't remember if it was the House or Senate, but either way, Congress said, okay, we'll do it, and they do it, and he doesn't show up. This is the behavior of a drug addict. This is the behavior of somebody whose lawyers were telling him in the beginning, don't do this, because you are guilty. And he said, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show the world who I am. And then at some point, realizing, yeah, this is probably not a good idea. Maybe he was sober when he made the final decision. So he did not show up. What does the media say about this? Now, this is going back to my last couple of videos about the media. What do they say about it? Oh, it was much to do about nothing anyway.
Can you explain to the Americans, amid this impeachment inquiry, why you interacted with so many of your son and brother's foreign business associates?
I'm not going to comment on that. I did not, and it's just a bunch of lies.
You didn't interact with many of their business associates?
I did not. There's lies.
He's not the president of the United States. There was no reason for him to come up and talk about himself. There's no evidence.
We got a new data point in the race, of course, this week, which is that the son of President Biden has been indicted yet again, and that Republicans are moving to open an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, despite there not being a link yet.
That's the media's response. That's Joe Biden's son. We shouldn't be even talking about this guy. Why are we even talking about him? That's just the poor little drug addict, whoremongering son.
I just think what your child does, as most parents understand, it's not muddy my waters, right? That if your child gets in trouble, that does not muddy my waters.
The guy's like 50 years old. Meanwhile, they're saying, hey, guess what, everybody? Barron Trump's 18. Fair game. We can start talking about him.
Former NBC Universal executive Mike Singleton marked the 18th birthday of Trump's son, Barron Trump, by tweeting, "Barron Trump turns 18 today. He's fair game now." There are a few ways to interpret this tweet, but honestly, all of them are creepy. I posted he was fair game now, meaning as an adult, he's fair game for criticism from the press, he said. Someone pointed out to me fair game could mean fair game to be harmed. I don't wish physical harm on anyone, so I took it down. I listened to the comments and criticism I received. But this explanation doesn't really make much sense, so can't we just not be creepy and just leave him alone? But apparently for Singleton, that's too much to ask, because this guy actually has a bizarre and creepy history of tweeting about Barron Trump. For example, in 2020, when Barron would have been like 14, he tweeted, "Everyone's talking about how tall Barron Trump is, here towering over Mike Pence. For his family's sake, I only wish him the best. That he be gay and ends up marrying a guy from a shithole country and they buy a nice home together in Mexico." Huh? Sorry, but speculating and fantasizing about a minor's future sexuality because you hate his dad is just fucking creepy.
This is what the media does. This is what they're doing right now. So what are they focusing on? Donald Trump is talking about the automotive industry getting jobs back here, and how China has been abusing this country for decades, at least a decade. What does the media say? The media says, oh my gosh, Trump just said there's going to be a bloodbath if America doesn't vote him back in.
We begin tonight with the race for the White House and former President Trump's campaign now on the defensive after his fiery rhetoric at a rally in Dayton, Ohio on Saturday night. Trump warning while discussing the economy that there would be a, quote, bloodbath if he is not reelected in November.
The unhinged, rambling rants that you see from the former president of the United States are baked in. And I think in a way we are all desensitized and inured to the extraordinary, remarkable, and very at times un-American and threatening things that the former president is saying. I'm not saying it's easy to understand how to cover it, but I think we have to cover it. When the former president, who's already incited violence among his followers, says that there's going to be a bloodbath after the election, if he does not win, he is telling us what he is going to do.
And during his first term, he flat out refused to condemn the political violence at a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, saying there were very fine people on both sides. So no, we did not miss the full context. This was not some meandering off-message comment. This is his message. As the Biden campaign put it, this is who Donald Trump is. A loser who gets beat by over 7 million votes, and then instead of appealing to a wider mainstream audience, doubles down on his threats of political violence.
That's how fascism and totalitarianism, and in Germany's case, the Holocaust came to Germany, which had been a country where there were big institutions of democracy until, as you well know, the early 1930s. He tells you he'll be a dictator for a day. We all know that dictators don't resign after a day when he uses the word bloodbath.
This is what he always meant when he said fake news. The media is outright lying. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they're all just lying. People on there are spreading this narrative, and it's 100% false. Elections are coming up, people. Keep this in mind, what the media is. This is the power that they hold. And if you pay attention, it won't work. Their lies won't work. Their misdirections won't work. You notice that there has not been any police officer shootings since Joe Biden got in office. Is that weird to you? How many BLM marches have there been since Joe Biden got in office? So all of a sudden, black men aren't being killed or beat up by police? Why isn't the media covering this? Because he's the president. Leading into the election, though, if this were Trump in office, we would see beating after beating, shooting after shooting. We don't see it anymore. The media's power is pretty incredible. I need you to think about why we see the things that we're seeing and then why we don't see other things that we're used to seeing. There have been no police shootings. The only time there have been mass shootings, according to the media, of course, the only time there's been mass shootings is if they think that it's a white male who's doing it. But as soon as they find out, he's in the alphabet community or he's black, they get rid of it. They act like it never happened. They just move on. Or they just shift the narrative over to gun control. So I need you guys to think about why the media is doing what it's doing. Hey, black men, black women, black people, you're no longer being abused by police because Joe Biden's in office. But guess who is being abused by the police since Joe Biden's in office? Hispanics, illegal immigrants. I talked about you guys getting replaced. I'm not being replaced because I'm still voting. Why are illegals all of a sudden in the news? That's who they're pandering to right now. Listen to what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. Look into what I'm saying. Election time is coming. They are 100% corrupt, and they need illegal immigration votes. Why are illegals able to vote? Because the left, exclusively the left.
Santa Ana could become the latest city in the country to allow non-citizens to vote at the ballot box. Non-citizens are prohibited from voting in federal elections.
But municipalities in Maryland, Vermont, and here in California have allowed non-citizens to vote in local elections.
Should they be able to vote? Is it constitutional for them to vote? They're not even citizens. Why do they get to choose who represents you, black man? You, black woman? You, American citizen Hispanic? Why do illegals get to come here and get representation and get to choose your representation? Well, because we're going to let them all stay here. No. Absolutely not. So is this what you like? Is this what you want? Is this who you are? Is this who the country is? The media is corrupt. They are swaying your thoughts. They are swaying your own opinions, and you don't even know it. Because when Trump was in office, every other week, black men were getting killed or beat up. And it was being put out in the media. They were talking about it. Young black ladies are getting killed, beat up, unfairly treated by the system. Joe Biden's in office, all good, everything's cured. Even back then I was saying, why are they showing us this right now? This doesn't make sense. I don't understand why they're showing us this. Why are they showing us this? Why are they showing us this? Because that's what they want you to think. You're being replaced. And you can always tell who you're being replaced by when you, all you have to do is take a look at police abuse, police shootings, and the news stories that have really sad music behind them. And that'll tell you who the media wants you to vote for, or who they think will make you feel some kind of way about what's going on with the plight of whoever the people are. Alphabet, black people, Hispanic people, Muslim people. It'll never be Christians, it'll never be white people. They don't care about us. They don't care about you.